Hello, my name is Russ Starr. I am in EXS 486, Exercise Prescription of Special Populations. And today I will be speaking to you about the special case of Alzheimer's disease. Before I go into Alzheimer's disease itself, we cannot understand and talk about it without understanding dementia. These are two separate entities, but they have a lot of similar symptoms. Also, neither dementia nor Alzheimer's disease are a normal part of aging. I want to make that very clear. So to start with, dementia is an umbrella term that describes different conditions that correlate and relate to memory loss, language issues, and problem-solving challenges. It is also not a specific disease because, as you can also see in the picture below, it's an umbrella term for multiple different diseases. There are multiple different types of dementia, and it can be caused because of cell damage and it affects so many different things: people's communication, their ability to think, their behavior, even their emotions. Whereas with Alzheimer's disease, this is an actual specific disease that is degenerative brain disease, which basically means it's destroying and shrinking your brain. It has dementia symptoms, however. Now, there are multiple causes of Alzheimer's disease. So there's age, a person's lifestyle, family history, environment, genetics, and ethnicity. So age, it is normally you normally see older individuals being people who have dementia, or not dementia, excuse me, Alzheimer's disease. It's not only older people though. It can be younger people, but more or less it's more people that are affected over the age of 65. In addition, if you have a family member who has had Alzheimer's disease, you are more likely to have it yourself as well. When it comes to genetics and heredity, it is very important to understand that there are two main genes. There is a risk gene and a determinant gene. The determinant gene is not something we really have to concern ourselves about because that's only 1% and it's not a major factor. However, a risk gene is one of the bigger reasons of why people have this disease. And what I mean by that is, if someone has Alzheimer's disease, there's a specific gene that they may or may not have, but a certain percentage, a high percentage, I believe 60% or more of people with this disease have this gene. For lifestyle, however, it's related to if someone has had head trauma or anything that has affected them in that way, shape, or form, or even just how their head and their body connects to each other. Whether or not they've had heart disease or stroke or anything of that manner can possibly make them more at risk. Ethnicity, however, really focuses on two ethnicities in particular: African Americans and Latinos. If they're a Latino, they're actually 1.5 more times more likely than a white individual to get this disorder or disease, and actually African Americans are twice as likely. And I know I kind of skipped over environment, but environment, because of the head and heart connection and just the world around them and that lifestyle, they kind of go hand in hand with lifestyle. So there are actually a total of 10 major signs and symptoms from both this page and the next. So our first major sign and symptom is memory loss upsetting daily life. So this could be literally forgetting daily events. This could be forgetting about activities of daily living, not understanding how to do them. Challenges with planning and resolving tasks. They actually have a lot of trouble performing things with numbers and tasks of that nature. When it comes to difficulty on familiar tasks, they forget them. They don't remember how to do them, but also they struggle at driving or even just making, say, a grocery list. Confusion of time or space or even a place is they can forget an address or somewhere that they've gone numerous times before, or even just what time to do something or anything of that manner. Trouble understanding images and spatial relationships. Really focuses on vision issues and also their balance. The next set of signs and symptoms are they may have trouble with words, whether it be remembering words they already knew or even holding a conversation, but then they also may forget certain words and start losing some of their vocabulary. In addition, they will also possibly even misplace items, lose things that they used to know where they used to be and always had a home for them. They may have decreased or poor judgment, for example, with money or paying bills or that manner. Withdrawal from activity basically means they don't want to do the regular things they used to do, whether it be going to work or hanging out with friends. And then changing in mood, they can be very depressed, unhappy, and just not themselves. So there are about 3 major stages of Alzheimer's disease. So first you have a healthy individual, but then we also have mild, moderate, or severe. So mild is the early stage, and this is kind of basic level. This is the beginning. They are still actually able to perform daily tasks like driving and everything like that. But are still starting to have those memory lapses and losing things. The moderate and middle stage is the longest stage. This is where they start needing a lot more help, whereas in the early stage, they can be a little bit more independent. In the middle stage, they need more help every day. They may be a little bit more moody. Things become a little bit more challenging for them. The severe stage, however, and the late stage, they need daily care and help all the time. And as you can see in this picture, this is how a brain would go when someone has Alzheimer's disease. It just gets worse and worse and worse and shrinks as well. So there are about 6 strategies of preventing Alzheimer's disease. So I want to make this clear. There is no cure, but it is thought in different studies that certain things can help reduce or slow down Alzheimer's disease. So first, regular exercise. So just like we're about to explain later on, following a FIT principle and everything like that, about 150 hours a week is going to help that person gain the strength of their brain. Social interaction, you really want to make sure that this person has those engagements and keeps those strong connections with the people and loved ones around them. A healthy diet, as we know, that goes hand in hand with exercise, we need a healthy diet to help strengthen our brain. Cognitive stimulation, they want challenges. They want something like puzzles or Sudoku or whatever to help build their brain and strengthen it. Quality sleep, everyone needs a good night's sleep, and this will help always improve, not just for someone with this disease, but anyone. And stress management, we really need to focus on that self-care. Again, this can help prevent it at any age for anyone. Treatment, like I just said, there is no cure. But however, the lifespan of it after a diagnosis can range from about 4 to 8 years, or even, if they're lucky, 20 years. So honestly, there are only about 3 major treatment plans: medication, behavior, so trying to fix their mood, or sleep treatment for sleep changes. I know that may not be able to be seen. And quickly, how exercise can affect the condition. It can reduce the symptoms. Exercise can help strengthen the brain and the functioning, as well as the muscles and bones, like everything else. Exercise should be done at least 30 to 60 minutes a week at a time, or 30 to 60 minutes at a time. So, my case study today is for Mr. S. He is a 67-year-old suffering from Alzheimer's disease. He is 6 feet tall, weighs about 215 pounds. His BMI is 29.2. His blood pressure is 110/80. His resting heart rate is 72. And then his HDL is 52. LDL is 112. And total cholesterol is 164. He was a smoker, but he did quit a long time ago. And he has no family history of any cardiovascular disease. And he also plays golf multiple times a week. So according to this information, he only has one major risk factor, and this is his age. And then due to this is why he and himself and his doctor wanted him to come in and get a treatment plan with you immediately. Overall, his goal is to slow down the symptoms, because they do know something can and will eventually happen, but we want to prolong that life as long as he can. And then he wants to stay as independent as possible and have that good life with his family and children and grandchildren. So for exercise testing, due to his age and his disease, I would really focus on training him like an older adult. However, I would add in cognitive training to both his exercise and his prescription plans and his testing plan, because this would help train the brain and the body. So as you can see on the right, these are the different tests I would use. Something for the whole body, something to help train his aerobic, anaerobic, balance, flexibility, and cognitive skills, so we get a well-rounded individual and testing. So this is a quick overview of how I would prescribe him. So basically, from aerobic, resistance, and flexibility, and even balance, this is exactly how you would train an older individual. The one major thing I added for my client is the cognitive. So I would tell him to do about 5 to 7 days a week of challenging puzzles, so then we can still continue training and strengthening his brain. And honestly, with everything put together, this is really going to help him in the long run. And in conclusion, I really want to send out this message. If you or a loved one knows someone with Alzheimer's disease, please make sure you spend quality time with them while you still have it, and I hope this presentation helps. And if you have any more questions that this presentation did not help answer, feel free to call the 24/7 Alzheimer's helpline at the line below. Here are my references, and thank you.